Hello and welcome everyone. It is finally here. Larian Studios has released Divinity Original Sin 2. It is out of alpha version, and we are going to start a new game today. They've added quite a lot, as I'm sure some of you know. They have added things such as undead characters that you can explore. They have done every conversation that you have. They have recorded someone saying it. Like every possible conversation, every character has a voice in this game. And so as much as I will be sad to not use my own voice, to undoubtedly make a fool of myself, it will be a lot more immersive than what we were doing before, and I am so excited for that, and I am so grateful for Larian Studios that they put this time and effort into making this happen, because they were saying that there's almost, I think, more than 1,000 voices. There's something like 1,064 voices, and to have all of those voiced, like, that is a tremendous accomplishment, and I cannot believe that they don't feel very proud of themselves. So we're going to determine our origin, or who we are today, rather. So we can, of course, play as the undead dwarves, the undead elves, the undead humans, the undead lizards, or, I mean, we could take one of the origin characters. We could take Beast, we could take Fane, take Ethan Van Metz, Los, the Red Prince, Sybil, or we could just be, you know, a dwarf, an elf, a human, a lizard. I know I want to be an undead. Should we be an undead human? No, we played a human last time. I think we should play an elf. And I think, do I want to be a witch? Be a wizard, a battle mage? Maybe we should be a battle mage, actually. Or I could be a cleric. I think it makes more sense to be a witch. So something that they have that's interesting about the undead, of course, is that if they take healing damage, or if they take healing, it damages them. However, if they are hit with poison, that actually heals them instead. But let's go ahead and build a witch, an undead elf witch. So we have undead, lets you heal from poison, but regular healing will damage you instead, like I said. We have the ability to play dead. Fool enemies into thinking you're dead. Cooldown of skills will be paused. Any action you take will cancel this status, which is fantastic. I love that. And they actually, they'd asked some of the community, like, what should some of the abilities of an undead be? And someone had actually said, like, oh, you know, play dead. And they took them seriously, and they made that into part of the undead. There's also Dome of Protection. Create a magical field that restores magic and physical armor and increases elemental resistances on allies in the area. So that's pretty handy. And of course, let's see, wishes, we have raise bloated corpse. Target a corpse to raise a bloated cadaver that fights for you. It can explode, dealing physical damage. That's pretty cool. Chloroform destroys 6 to 7 magic armor and then tries to set sleeping. Interesting. There's then Mosquito Swarm as well. Unleash a swarm of giant mosquitoes to suck the blood from your enemies, dealing 6 to 7 physical damage and healing yourself. we'll stick with our abilities. Let's see, for talents, Leech heals you when you're standing in blood. I'm interested to see how that works with us. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty cool. Okay. I think I'll stay with Leech for now, though. Let's go to tags, of course. I think when we were alive, we were a scholar. So then actually, let's go back and change our voice to scholar. I like that. That's a good voice. As for our instrument, of course, this will take the lead in music during fights and will highlight various moments in your adventure. I really like the Bansuri. And so another cool thing that Larian Studios did was that all the music that you hear, they actually did with a live orchestra, which that's just fantastic. Like, that takes a lot of time and resources. But they have showed us time and time again that they are willing to push themselves to a limit to bring us the most fantastic game that we can imagine. Now, of course, we have to think of our name. Let's see. You're an elf, so let's see here. Wolpine. We'll call ourselves Wolpine. Alright, let's go. Let us start our game and our adventure. Warning. Beware, playing as an undead poses unique risks and benefits. Undead must feel their true selves from the living or risk being attacked. Healing potions and spells will damage you, while poison heals. Undead can pick locks with bony finger alone and can survive this scourge of death fog. Are you sure you finished with character creation? You've not selected any tags for your character. Oh. I thought... Oh, maybe reset after a thing. Yeah, I just want to be a scholar. I think that's fine. In Bansuri, done. Start game. Yes.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
And there we are, the introduction to the character that, when I played before, blew this entire ship to the ground. Alright. Get me out of here.
Well, look what the dog dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
That's true. Yeah, so luckily we get the outfit that, we have this little hood on this. Naturally, they made it so that obviously it doesn't add any extra armor or anything like that, so you're not, better off than some of the other folks in the game. But that's cool that they have the whole conversation with the skull.
This tome is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
Let's talk to Master
There.
C1.
Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Ooh, yeah, let's be knowledgeable. Let's be like, haha.
Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Okay.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Alright, let's just take our leave. Honestly, we already know what happens when it comes to this this part in the game. So let's go ahead.
Gods! There's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
See if we can lend a hand in the investigation, because we are an elf after all.
Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no herself. Go ahead. She with the body.
Very well. Oops. No, leave the door open. Alright, let's talk to
Ugly
Waters.
sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Yes. Inform her that she wasn't the man's protector. She was his captive.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Let's tell her that that's a trick you haven't quite
I
mastered.
thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Tell her that my price is considerably higher than that.
Not in here, it isn't.
Well,
You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
alright.
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Interesting. Okay, well... let's just do a little searching. Makeshift wand. Hello.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
Sybil again. Oh, so you can see the scar this time. I forget if we
She
can see that
chuckles.
before.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Oh, because she wants to kill the lizard. Interesting. Let's ask if you may join her.
She shakes her head.
Oh.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
If she can decide fates with dice, can she read the future in Calais intros as well?
She eyes you suspiciously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. Just like you. And I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
Oh my gosh. Since we're dead, I so want to know what happens here.
She looks at you in surprise when you bare an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow, won't I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back. You were thinking of flesh, or to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh, those that have eluded you for so long.
I mean, yeah, if we've been undead for a while, and I mean, we're like a scholar, so... and we're also an elf, so we know we're not going to be surprised that she, like, can tell us this. So we're just going to stare at the ground embarrassed. We've quite forgotten about
She
that.
pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Good to know.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, Ghetto. You hear that?
What am I meant to be hearing?
Ship, of course.
It's quiet. Listen to the sounds of the ship.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
Let's say the sound of the sea sounds angry, like it's trying to capsize the ship.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
It's true enough. Shake her hand.
You presume right.
See if she knows anything about the murder that happened on board.
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Alright, then let's take her leave.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
I forgot about that.
Good luck, Chief.
What could that be? Alright.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your bandages, rubbing them between his fingers.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Ask whether the book he's reading is good. Actually, ask who you're speaking to.
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough. It is pleasurable to meet you.
Not towards this book. Has he found much good knowledge there?
Hardly. I've been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
So the memories of the past are precious to your people. At least they were until your homelands were destroyed. Or you have some personal experience in history that I've seen a lot in the last couple of centuries.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Look at him incredulously. The gods are forces of nature. They don't have a history.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Why insist? Why he was so curious with the
No
gods?
amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Alright, very well.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams has just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
I'm sorry you're upset, ma'am, but we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
He's way too cheerful, I'll be honest.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It's just sorcerer?
Means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Alright. I mean, they're pretty bad this whole thing, let's be honest here.
What's happened?
Okay, there's nothing there. A spoon. I'm good. Alright, up to the top we go.
Gods, I need to get off this ship.
Alright, so we got Play Dead, Mosquito Swarm. Let's raise Magister Knight. Wait, hang on. Let's make sure I have this selected first. Can I select him? Yes. Oh my god, that's horrifying. Alright, let's try and chloroform. Alright, cool, so he's asleep. Hell yeah. Then let's just hit this guy. Some poison. So he's got Vile Burst. Let's just attack this guy for now. End our turn. That's awesome, so I can like heal him if he's in the poison. So let's hit this guy again. Oh, he also gets attack of opportunity. That's pretty cool. Alright, so let's hit this guy 2 more times. That should kill him. Awesome. And now let's just start moving towards this bad boy. Mosquito Swarm. I'm interested to see if it actually heals me. It does, okay. Boom. Alright. So I do have control of myself. So we got some stained pants, some wheat, some gold. That's fine. Let's equip these stained pants. Gives us at least like one more. Alright, let's search the void things. I do like that we can just step in poison and that will heal us. That'll be very helpful, I'm sure. Alright, so he's dead. Oh my god.
A lifeboat! That means there's still a chance!
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
The ship trembles beneath your feet. The kid is right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
I love the
Open your big mouth, didn't you?
water effects. That looks so cool. Alright, is there anything up on this end? No, not really. Alright. Then down we go. Alright, let's loot some magisters while we're here. Chunk of flesh. Oh, that's the for the murdered guy. Oh, she's knocked
The
out.
Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Can we wake her up? Our ancient book. I still have to read that. Is there anything here we can... Empty potion bottle. Small tome and the grinning skull.
Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea.
Okay, so I can't pick it up. No worries. Alright, let's go wake up some of the people.
Get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait! Void Woken!
Alright, so there are some bodies around. So let's go ahead and raise bloated corpse. Soulbound? I'm not sure what that means. Alright, and let's just take a smack with this boy and return. Let's move him over and finish this guy off. We should deal 4 damage to him, I think. Alright, we'll heal die next turn. Ow.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
I mean, they kind of are.
I've faced worse.
Elemental arrowheads. Oh my god, that's so cool. So he just, it's because there's water.
Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph. These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Hail strike. Hell yeah.
I'll yield to none.
Alright. So obviously that's just smack him with a crap ton of damage. Nice.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan, the one who put on this damn collar.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture.
Take the cloth and hold it tightly to the wound and try to stem the bleeding.
Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror.
Unraveled. I feel like that will just choke her and wrap it snugly around her neck like a tourniquet.
Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out to you, her hand flailing.
Hold the cloth tighter to
It's
the wound.
working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder.
Continue holding the cloth of the wound. Take Siwon's hand and try and help her stand.
Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
That's pretty cool.
The ship apart. This is it. She's going down.
Oh, that's cool.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Oh my god.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Interesting. So they changed the voice actor for that part. The guy that did before sounded a lot more Scottish, almost. But what a hell of an entrance that was. I really like that, you know, you didn't just have to kill her, even though we didn't really like the Magisters. I think that was the right choice for the kind of character that I would play. Or that, like, if I was in this world, I would be, you know, that character. Like, even though I hate the Magisters, I'm like, I'll never help a Magister. If I see one, like, bleeding out, I am going to try and save her life. And here we are.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? This must be Fort Joy. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
Then let's make sure that we end them. Alright. Let's go ahead and, of course, raise this little bad boy. And then I'm going to hit you. That is so much damage. Holy crap, that's awesome. Alright, then I'm going to end my turn. And I'm going to get this guy to explode. Ow. Definitely a lot easier to kill.
Collars were supposed to keep those things at bay.
So that's interesting that, actually, I'm curious. Oh, never mind. The fire went out. Okay.
Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
Oof. That's nasty. So I'm curious, because we have the leech ability. So if we set ourselves on fire, I wonder if we would... sorry, what's the word? I wonder if we would still heal at all. So we have a restoration scroll. I'm gonna move the scrolls up here, kind of like I did last time. I'm gonna move, I think, potions here. I will remove the minor healing flask. I'll say I don't want to accidentally eat that and hurt myself. Because that would be a lot of damage. Oh, there's some leather scraps over here. Let's scrap those. And I suppose let's make our way to the Red Prince. Crafty weaponry. Die by the sword. Use to read and learn about crafting. That's cool. Oh my god. Alright, let's eat this chunk of flesh.
As the dead man's flesh slides down your throat, you feel his consciousness enter yours. His memories are yours to experience. You are Finn. Your heart is heavy. You know too much. It's all too much. You met him. A bright light blinds you, then fades. You feel a tremendous power in your hands, but they are shaking so hard you can barely use them. Suddenly you're on this very ship, crouched in a corner, hugging your knees. A figure approaches, an older woman. Her eyes are kind. She comes closer. She says she wants to talk. She reaches a hand toward you. You grasp it. The memories end. You are no longer Finn. You return to yourself with a jolt.
So she just blew him up. I think let's stop here for today, folks. Haven't gotten too far through the story just yet, but it's been so wonderful to have all the voice acting and everything in this game right now, and I am so excited to continue to explore. For the next couple episodes, I am going to be doing a lot of editing for those, just kind of cutting out the unimportant parts or any parts that just take up space and aren't useful. And so I'm going to be doing this for at least until we get to the point where we left off in the underground passage during the alpha version. But thank you so much for taking this kind of first look with me into the fully released version of Divinity 2 Original Sin. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I look forward to you guys following me on this journey through this beautiful and fantastic game. Take care, everyone.